What's up guys, it's J&A Exotics and welcome back. Happy 2022 people, we made it. So today we're going to be talking about dart frogs and whether or not they make good pets or not. So let's jump into it. So, you're interested in buying a dart frog, but you're not quite sure if it's the right pet choice for you. I feel like dart frogs are one of the most misunderstood pet frogs in the hobby, and because of this, they're not as popular as most other pets. A lot of common misconceptions with dart frogs are people think they're super hard to care for, they think they're poisonous, and they also think you need this monstrous rainforest vivarium that's going to cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars for them to keep. But the truth is, most dart frogs are easy to care for, they're not harmful to us in captivity, and you can get away with keeping them in a relatively cheap setup. Even the most toxic dart frog in the world, the golden poison dart frog, can be kept safely as a pet. The key behind dart frogs' toxins is what they eat in the wild. They obtain their toxins from the mites and ants that they eat. In captivity, you'll be feeding them a diet of flightless fruit flies and smaller pinhead crickets. Since these feeders don't contain any toxins, the frog won't absorb and secrete any toxins. Cultivating fruit flies also practically pays for itself, and it's super convenient because you don't have to run to the store and buy feeders every week. Feeding dart frogs definitely won't break the bank. Dart frogs' beautiful colorations are a warning to predators saying if you're gonna mess with us, there's gonna be a price to pay. It's nothing more than a defense mechanism. Dart frogs come in a wide variety of colors and sizes, which is great, and it will give you plenty of variety when picking a species that you want. Some thumbnail species grow as little as 3/4 of an inch, while other species can grow up to 2 inches. You can also find a lot of species of dart frogs for relatively cheap too. For instance, you can find a Dendrobates leucomelas for around $45 to $50. Like all pets, there's some species that are a lot more than a Dendrobates leucomelas, but there are plenty of affordable options for you. You can also keep many species of dart frogs in groups as long as the tank's big enough for all of them. So if you wanted to keep a smaller community of certain species, that's totally doable. Keeping dart frogs is also important for the conservation of the species. Their natural habitats right now are being threatened by deforestation and pollution. Unfortunately, due to this, their population is taking a toll. So when keeping dart frogs in captivity, it's very important to keep different species separate. You don't want two different species breeding because if dart frogs do become extinct in the wild, it's going to be up to us to save them. If you did want to keep something with your dart frogs, you can 100% keep mourning geckos with certain species. Take cohabitation or Dendrobates leucomelas for example. Those two frogs right there are a perfect size that you can keep mourning geckos with. The frogs aren't so small that the gecko is going to attempt to eat them, and vice versa. I would definitely refrain from keeping mourning geckos with very large species of dart frogs like the golden poison dart frog, because there's a possibility that a golden poison dart frog can eat a smaller gecko. Right now, I personally keep my mourning geckos separate, but that's only because I'm trying to get them to breed. Once they start to breed, I'm going to keep mourning geckos with my Santa Isabels, my cohabitation, and my Dendrobates leucomelas. Dart frogs don't require a crazy amount of room, so finding a spot in your house to keep them is 100% doable. A lot of these species can be kept comfortably in a 10 to 20 gallon enclosure. Like keeping other reptiles or amphibians, if you keep your dart frogs in a bioactive setup, the weekly maintenance is going to be minimal. As long as you feed your dart frogs and you miss them, the tank will practically take care of itself for the most part. You can also keep them in a minimalistic setup with fake plants. That way it's cheaper and more affordable, but the weekly maintenance is just going to be higher. The best part about keeping dart frogs in a bioactive setup is that you can have a miniature jungle inside your house. Not only can the tank be a beautiful centerpiece inside your house, but you can also watch your tank grow and develop alongside your frogs. Dart frogs also don't require a crazy lighting requirement. Due to them liking temperatures around the mid-70s, you can easily get away with just using an LED light for your plants and visual light. You won't have to worry about replacing bulbs or different heat fixtures raising your electric bill drastically. Although different species of dart frogs may have specific care needs, for the most part, all these frogs like the same humidity and temperatures inside of their enclosures. Room temperatures around the mid-70s and a tank humidity around 80% or higher is generally what these frogs like. There's plenty of simple tricks too to help keep the humidity high inside of all the tanks. For example, if you use a glass lid instead of screen lids alongside of live plants and daily mistings, that'll do the trick. Some of my favorite things about dart frogs is that they're diurnal and they're active during the day, unlike other species of frogs in the hobby, and they have amazing calls. Dart frogs are awesome to watch communicate with one another and explore their enclosures. Species like Dendrobates azuris or Dendrobates leucomelas are very bold, and they'll actually come right up to you when you open the tank doors. They're also amazing to watch eat. When I listen closely to my Dendrobates leucomelas eat, you can actually hear their tongues snapping as they flick it out to catch their prey. Dart frogs are terrestrial, but they can climb up wet glass and plants, so they will utilize every space of their tank. I also personally love hearing my frogs call back and forth. Now, not all dart frogs have a loud call, but it just adds the extra jungle feel to the vivarium when you hear them calling. I truly believe dart frogs are one of the most awesome and easiest pets to keep. With that being said, obviously do your own research before you buy a particular species. If you want a mini jungle inside your house with awesome frogs that are active, I'd look into getting dart frogs. So with all this being said, I highly recommend you guys go out and do your own research, because this video is by no means a care guide. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.